Hey, I'm Temporal 72 and welcome to the first episode of the Temporal Analysis! Woo! Okay, I know it took me a long time to do this video, but honestly, I was just thinking about how will be the best way to do this kind of videos. I know some of you have seen really good musical analysis videos like Rick Beato in English or Soundtrack in Spanish. They do this kind of analysis where they take just track by track separately and they just listen to each one isolated, and they do this kind of harmonic analysis and production analysis, that is basically how the song was produced. In my case, I wanted to do something different and I want to monetize these videos. This means that I'm not going to be able to play the song entirely or fractions of it or sections of it because of the copyright. So, after hours of thinking how will be the best way, I think I came up with a good solution. This means that these kind of videos are going to be divided in two sections. The first one is going to be my favorite part of the song, where I'm going to explain to you why I think this is my favorite part, why I like it so much, and why it sounds awesome. And on the second part of the video, I'm going to tell you which musical element, depending on the song, is what I think makes this song amazing. One thing that I want you to keep in mind is that I'm going to do these videos based on my experience and my point of view as a musical arranger, which is my job and my specialty basically. So I know some of these songs have amazing lyrics, but here is not the space to take a look at those amazing lyrics. I'm just going to concentrate on the musical elements. So before I start, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, let me know what you think in the comments below, all your recommendations. I'm going to launch my Patreon if you want to support my channel this week. And you can follow me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I have my Twitch channel where I'm going to listen to albums completely. So you can follow me there and yeah, just stay tuned for it. Okay, so we are going to start with a band that I like a lot during this moment of my life. And I discovered this band because of the reactions. So the band is called Band-maid and the song is called Daydreaming. Like I told you before, I'm not going to be able to play any section of the song, so don't worry. I'm going to explain to you everything with my voice, my guitar, and I have my DAW. So if I need any drums, synths, bass, whatever, I can have it right there. So the first section of the song is my favorite part of this song. And in this case, my favorite part of this song is the chorus. A lot of people say that a good chorus makes a good song, and I think they're right. Basically, if the chorus is catchy and it has a lot of energy, that is going to be the part that is going to be stuck in your mind. So, yeah, a good chorus makes a good song. But don't worry, in the other videos, the chorus is not going to be my favorite part all the time. Don't worry. So, besides Psyche's soulful interpretation and the energy that has this chorus with the other instruments playing their thing and everything, I think the cool part about this chorus is the structure of the chorus itself. By the structure, I mean the relationship between the melody and the harmony or the chord progression during the chorus. So, here is how they sound together. If you take a look at the chord progression, is simple. Simple doesn't mean that it's bad, don't get me wrong. At the beginning I was thinking that the key was C Dorian because of the F sharp, but if you take a look at the end of every section and every phrase, well, it ends on a note that is G on the G major chord. So yeah, this means that this song is in G major. But yeah, like I told you, what makes this chorus great is not the chord progression alone or the melody alone, it's the relationship between the two of them. If you want to create a good melody that sounds great, the easiest way is just sing or play one of the notes of the chord. And you can see that, for example, in this D major, the notes of D major are D, F sharp, A. So in this case, it's playing an A or singing an A. And this is the fifth of the chord, so obviously it's going to sound good. And at the end, Psyche is singing a G note over a G major chord. Basically, it resolves everything. It's a good ending. But what I want you to pay attention is this part. Take a look at this C, and it happens two times during this C major chord. The note that is playing over this C major chord is an A. It's a note that doesn't belong to the chord. The notes of a C major are C, E, and G. So yeah, there is no A right there. So let me show you something. Here you have the C major chord being played in three different positions across the fretboard. These are the normal notes of the C major chord, C, E, and G. But here you have the C major chord with an A being the lead note. And here you have the C major chord with an A inside the chord. You can notice that they sound so different. And the same thing happens with the E minor at the end, well before it resolves to G major. If you take a look, the notes on E minor are E, G, and B. And this note is a F sharp, so yeah, it doesn't belong to it. But let me show you something again. Here you have the normal E minor chord with the notes E, G, and B. And now here you have the E minor chord with the F sharp being the lead note. So yeah, basically these notes that don't belong to the chord make them sound interesting. And there is another thing. If you take a look at these two phrases, the phrase is exactly the same, but it's played over a different chord. In this case, this C major chord and this D major chord. So yeah, it sounds different. And the cool thing is that at the end of that phrase on this D major chord, it anticipates the A minor chord that it has the F sharp on top of it. And F sharp is a note of D major. D major has D, F sharp, and A, like I told you before. So yeah, I think this solid relationship between the chord progression and the melody on the chorus is what makes this my favorite part of the song. Obviously, besides the interpretation that is remarkable, it's amazing. For the second part of this analysis, we are going to talk about what elements makes this song amazing. And in this case are the variations. If you've heard Band-maid's music before, you can notice that the maids are masters at this element. In other songs, they do really cool melodic and rhythmic variations. But what I think surprised me the most the first time I heard this song was the variation in the rhythm and the structure of the song. To talk about the first one, we are going to use the drums as a perfect example. The main variation happens between the first and the second verse. During the second verse, Psyche is basically singing the same melody, and they have the same chord progression over it. It has some slight rhythmic and melodic variations, but they are minimal. What the other instruments are doing change completely the mood of the song. You have to keep in mind that the section between the first and the second verse is the first chorus. During this section, they raise up a lot the energy of the song. And even if it has this beautiful melody and this kind of happy mood, it has a lot of energy. So after a section like that, if you want to keep the same energy, you are not going to let the drums being like the first part. So yeah, let's analyze the drums during these sections. So during the first part of the first verse, Akane is not playing anything. You can hear maybe some claps. Maybe they did this with some synth or they just recorded the claps. And during the second half of the first verse, Akane is playing this pattern. So like I told you before, if you want to keep the same energy, you are not going to let the first half of the second verse the same as the first verse that didn't have drums. So Akane plays this groove for that first half of the second verse. What you can see is that it develops the song in a great way because it's giving a lot more energy to the song. And basically, they didn't drop the energy of the song that they had during the first chorus, but they are keeping it and just transforming it. So, yeah, like I told you, it has the same melody and the same chord progression. But, well, yeah, it changes a lot. And if you take a look at these two patterns, the main variation is this pattern on the toms playing 16th notes, but also take a look at the kick drum. The kick drum is playing a note per each beat over those bars. This means that you are feeling a lot the rhythm when you are hearing that. And yeah, this basically gives you a sense of movement that feels amazing. And yeah, basically these do this amazing variation, and just with this variation could be enough. But during the second half of the second verse, Akane plays this. If you compare the first groove with the third groove, you can notice that the kick drum is somehow similar. However, in the third groove, it has more activity. And if you want to do a groove with a lot of rhythmic activity, you can use this really cool pattern just playing 16 notes over the hi-hat. Actually, this reminds me a lot of a drum groove of the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Have you heard the song Around the World? It has some similar kind of drum groove that it's great. And the cool thing is that basically with these variations, they are just developing the song. So they can bring a second chorus with a little more energy than the first chorus. But the thing is that they don't move to the second chorus. And this is where it gets interesting. And this is the second part that I told you at the beginning. This is the variation on the structure of the song. If you take a look at the structure of the song, it's really simple at the beginning. It starts with an intro, then the first verse, the first pre-chorus, the first chorus, and they play somehow like an intro between the first chorus and the second verse. Until then, the song is average. But they build up the rhythm and the energy of the song to bring you an amazing guitar solo. Normally in rock, the guitar solo is located between two choruses. It can be used as a bridge between the second chorus and the last chorus, which is the one with the most energy among the choruses. But this really cool guitar solo with a lot of energy doesn't resolve in another chorus. It resolves in a bridge. So basically, they create a bridge between the guitar solo and the last chorus. So they use this bridge to bring down a lot the energy so they can rest a little bit. So yeah, it can give the song some space to breathe and then just end the song with a lot of energy with the last chorus. And that is amazing. I was not expecting that structure of the song at all. So yeah, I think these kind of variations are what makes this song amazing. So since this is the first video, please let me know in the comments below what you think about it. Tell me what can I improve? What do you think was missing? Yeah, please let me know. This is a new section and I want to do a lot of this analysis. This is really fun to do. And this was my own way to do it. You can see that there are some analyses that are really technical and I didn't want to bring that pure technical side. I can do it, but I think it can make the video a little bit boring. And yeah, I want to do the video entertaining and just bring some musical facts that you can understand and just explain everything really simple but entertaining. So yeah, please let me know what you think in the comments below. And yeah, that will be all for today. So thank you for watching this video and I see you on the next one. Have a good one.